Hello, in this new video we will study different procedures for doing the proper selection of the property method. If you look in the help system for physical property method, you will find this page with different items related to this topic. The first paragraph of this page will remember you the critical importance of this selection. Choosing the appropriate property method is often the key decision in determining the accuracy of your simulation results. We move now to the third item, choosing a property method. In this new help page, you will find two links that will help you in the selection of the property method. There is also a third one, which corresponds to an assistant, but this assistant is based on the guidelines, the second link, so we will not cover it. If you click on the first one, recommended property methods for different applications, you go to a help page with different type of processes. In every of these pages you will find different typical processes and the property method recommended for each of them. If you are lucky, maybe you will find your process in this list, and then you may be sure you have done the right selection. If you click on the second link, Guidelines for choosing a property method, then the help system will show you a series of 3 different diagrams to help you with the selection. The first question you must answer corresponds to polarity. Are your components polar or non-polar? If they are non-polar, interaction between molecules are smaller and the simulation is easier. The next question in this case, are you using only real components or also pseudo-components? Pseudo-components are non-real components that are used to simulate the performance of petroleum mixtures. If all your components are real, then you can choose between any of these suggested property methods. If you are also using pseudo-components, then you must consider if you are working under vacuum, where Brown or ideal methods may be chosen, or above atmospheric pressure. In this case, Chaucer, Grayson or Brown are good options. When your simulation also contains polar compounds, then the interaction between them are stronger and the thermodynamic modeling is more complex. The first question in this case is, are electrolytes present in your system? If your mixture contains water and also compounds able to suffer ionic reactions, you must choose the property method electrolytes NRTL. If electrolytes are not present, then you must go to the second diagram. The second diagram corresponds then to systems with strong interactions in the liquid phase. The first question concerns again pressure. For small pressures, under 10 bars, the interactions in the vapor phase are small, and this can be represented by the ideal model or a simple equation of state. Next question. Are there interaction parameters available? We must always answer yes to this question. Why? Because the availability of interaction parameters means that experimental values are available that have been used for obtaining these parameters, and the results will be much more reliable. In the case, finally, that parameters are not present, then we should go back here and answer no. In this case, the property methods that will be proposed are predictive property methods, and so they are not as reliable as with available experimental parameters. These predictive property methods, which use contribution groups, may be used for initial design steps, but not for final design purposes. The final question in this case is the presence or not of a liquid-liquid equilibrium. If liquid-liquid equilibrium is present, then the link-B modification of UNIFAC property method must be used. If not, these others can be used. Let's go back now to the case that parameters are available. If interaction parameters are available, then we must question again about the existence of liquid-liquid equilibrium. If liquid-liquid equilibrium is present, we only can use NRTL UNIQUAC and their variances in combination with equations of state. If liquid-liquid is not present, then we can use these models and also the Wilson model. This restriction corresponds to the fact that the Wilson model, although usually shows good performance, is not able to represent liquid-liquid equilibrium. All these 4 sets of models corresponds to activity coefficient models. If some of them NRTL, UNIQUAC or Wilson are finally chosen, then we must go to the third diagram to check the existence of vapor phase association. This vapor phase association, as we presented in our phase video, corresponds to two different cases. When we work with hydrogen fluoride, then their molecules form hexamers in the vapor phase, and we must use this model, which is specific, or the same for the presence of organic acids, which form dimers. If vapor phase association is not present for all the rest of molecules, then all these models can be chosen. Let's go back now to the second diagram, and finally, in the case of complex liquid phase with strong interactions, polar molecules, and high pressures, complex vapor phase with strong interactions, we must select one of the most powerful property methods available in Aspen. If interaction parameters, this is experimental values, are available, then this upper group must be the option, and if they are not available, we must choose the second group, which use predictive activity coefficient models for estimating the interactions. Once you have completed the selection of the property models in these diagrams, and you have chosen the group of property models which are suitable for your simulation, you must read information about them in the help system of Aspen. Here you can find, as an example, information about the Penn-Robinson property method. This information is very concise. I will highlight now some important characteristics. For example, that the method is recommended for gas processing and refinery, that you must use binary parameters when applying this method. You must check for them. You are informed about where you can find the existence of these parameters in the software. Here you have information about the type of alpha function and mixing rules that are used by default in Penn-Robinson property method. In the mixture types, the characteristics. It can be used for non-polar or mildly polar mixtures. And other recommendation next about pressures, temperatures, and so on. We will present now a practical case. We are going to choose the property model for the separation of a mixture of acetone and water in an atmospheric distillation column. We start with the first diagram. The first question: is it polar? Of course. Water is a highly polar compound, so we go to the upper branch. Do we have electrolytes? We have a system with water, but acetone does not form ions when dissolved into water, so we go to the second diagram. First question: operating pressure? We are using an atmospheric column, so upper branch again. Are there available interaction parameters? We answer yes. It is expected that experimental values for the vapor-liquid equilibrium of acetone and water are available. The next question: liquid-liquid equilibrium? Acetone and water are completely miscible in the liquid phase, so the answer is no. Then Wilson, NRTL, UNIQUAC, and other variances must be selected. Finally, in the third diagram, we check for vapor phase association. We do not have hydrogen fluoride. We do not have organic acids, so this is the final set of activity coefficient models we must use. Finally, if you want to use the assistant provided by Aspen, you must go to the ribbon and in the home group select Method Assistant. But as you can check when you use it, this Method Assistant is using the diagrams we have presented before. Finally, I will show you an example of the performance corresponding to the selection of a correct and an incorrect property model. For this purpose, we are going to calculate the vapor-liquid equilibrium diagram of the system acetone-water at 1 atmosphere. We are going to compare the results using the NRTL model, that as you can check is a valid model, and the Schwaber-Ridley-Chuon equation of state, which is not able to model this system. We start an Aspen property run. We select the template, general with metric units. We define the components, acetone and water. Next, we go to the methods folder and specify the base method, NRTL in the first case and Schwaber-Ridley-Chuon in the second. Next, the software will force you to check the availability of parameters in the binary interaction NRTL folder. As you can see, there are parameters available for the pair acetone-water. And now you can go to the ribbon at the top of the screen and select binary in the analysis group. Once you complete the values, you will obtain the diagram calculated with the NRTL model. This diagram agrees with experimental values, and the diagram represented by Schwaber-Brindlich 1. As you can see in this case, the model predicts the existence of a liquid-liquid heteroazeotropous, and the behavior corresponding to this system is far from reality and does not agree with experimental values.